Yeah, it's weird. I mean, when you have something of your own, it's like really your baby, and every time something doesn't work out as you are imagining, it really hurts. And all these times I'm like, okay, that's it. I cannot do it anymore. It's done. And then I'm okay again, of course, because every little win you have, like every super small win you have, it's huge because it's 100% yours.
Yeah.
But then every fail, it's also very yours.
Hallo iedereen en welkom bij Girlsmode TV. Vandaag hebben we Anna Rosso van het merk Arm bij ons. En het gaat mijn eerste interview zijn in het Engels. Dus ik heb een beetje stress. Maar we gaan eraan beginnen, hè. So, very nice to have you here in the studio.
Nice to be here. Really
Yes,
nice.
thank you. It's going to be my first interview in English. So if I make mistakes, don't hate me for it.
I will
try
not.
my best.
I'm not an English teacher.
What is it that you do, or what is your brand, and what is it that you're making, because you're making something really special?
Yes, so I make jewelry, and the special thing about it is that it's from unconventional materials usually. I have like a really soft spot for recycling and fair fashion and doing things right and with integrity. So the whole concept of the brand is how you can bring something fashionable, accessible, and yet to be fair and responsibly made. So I try to bridge the gap between, low craft, cheap contemporary things and a bit more high-end but yet responsibly made. So yeah, that's more or less all about it.
And it's not only responsibly made, it's also very pretty.
Thank you.
I'm wearing this beautiful brooch, and I have a beautiful bracelet from your shop. No, I think it's very, very nice what you're doing, but I think it's a difficult path, or a rather difficult path that you chose. Can you tell me how it started? What did you study, and how did you go from there to end up where you are today?
It is indeed a difficult path. So I started as an architect. That's my background. I studied architecture. I worked as an architect. It was quite clear for me that that would be my path and my career. I moved to the Netherlands from Greece to really work as an architect in a very nice bureau. And I was making jewelry on the side as a hobby, and it was really not a serious thing. So it started through making things for friends, and then, someone asked, where did you get this? Can I have one? And it kind of, escalated from there. But I never had like a very clear vision around having a jewelry brand or a fashion brand in any case.
No.
And then after I worked as an architect for quite some while in the Netherlands, I saw and I realized that I wasn't quitting the jewelry thing. So instead of like really focusing on being an architect, I kept, making new things, trying to promote them slightly and a bit, inconsistently. But, I had this thing around it. So it made me think maybe I should focus more on something that it's mine.
Yes.
My boyfriend had an opportunity to move to Brussels, and that's how we ended up in Belgium. But I really don't like Brussels. I feel that here in Antwerp, like everything is more special and people are more fashionable and a bit more interesting. I don't know. So we chose Antwerp, and basically that's more or less when my path as a jewelry designer really started.
So here you are in Antwerp with your boyfriend, like new city, or how did it go from there?
So I had this brand, it was called My Life Box, and it was basically a DIY blog, a very random hobby thing I was doing. And when I launched the jewelry thing as a hobby again, it was on Etsy, which is like a handmade website, yes. And it kind of made sense that I would just use the same name as the blog, and I wasn't planning on having a thing, so I just used the same name. So when we moved in Antwerp, I just had like this Etsy shop, and it was called My Life Box, and I had that as a brand, and it wasn't branded, there was no like really
Like a
something
line,
around it. It was like more
Yeah.
a product, and of course you can see like all the materials were very consistent, but other than that there was no brand.
Yeah.
And when I decided to go really into having a jewelry brand, I was really, really concerned about like my lack of knowledge on being like in fashion and being an entrepreneur and all these things. So I did a master program, which is like basically for fashion entrepreneurship. And that's when I realized that I should make a brand that it's more about me. And more or less I make everything myself, and that needs to be somewhere like more visible. So that's why I put my name on the brand, and I decided to really make a brand out of it.
Yeah.
So that's what happened when I moved to Antwerp.
Weren't there any particular moments that you thought that was the most difficult thing to deal with during my, I don't know,
Yes.
launch, during my decision-making process?
I think, so I think that I have like an annual moment that repeats itself, which has to do with seasonality and fashion, and in general, like having a physical product. You don't sell as much every month because you have like months that they are really good in sales and months that they are not. And that's always a struggle for me because I really have to plan around it. And I have to be prepared that usually in August no one buys because everyone is in vacation, and it's like all these things. I think the most difficult I think the most difficult thing for me though is the life-work balance. So it doesn't always have to do like really with my work and what is actually happening in it, like whether I'm selling or not. But in general, I work a lot, like many hours, like really hard, and there are moments where I really need a break, and sometimes I cannot do it. Like you cannot afford taking a break. But I don't mean financially, but also like you practically cannot stop.
No.
So I think that's the hardest thing for me. When I hit that wall and I feel that that's it, now I need a break, I need like 1 week vacation and I cannot do it practically, that's when I really need to pick up myself and say, okay, now Anna, you're a girl boss, do it and try and do it.
So we came to the part where we're gonna ask quick questions. So I'm gonna ask you 5 quick questions or short questions, and you can give me 5 short answers.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
What's your favorite Instagram account?
We make it last.
And it's about?
Sustainability and style. So it's a very good mix of sustainable but really stylish way of life.
What's your favorite hotspot in Antwerp?
Barcel.
What's your favorite me time moment?
Bubble baths.
What's your weirdest habit?
I sing to my dog, but I make my own songs, so they don't make any sense, and they are really bad songs. And I never remember them again, so it's like one-time song at the moment.
What's your favorite motivational song?
I really like from Sia, Cheap Thrills. Right now I really like that.
Okay.
I always preach about self-love and really taking care of yourself and taking a break and understanding your value and like all these things, and then sometimes I'm like, Anna, you're just talk. I mean, you don't do those things for yourself, you just don't take a break sometimes. But of course it's a nice reminder, and it's always good to have it in your head that you need to take care of yourself, because otherwise it will also show in your work. You won't be as productive and efficient. It will.
But I think it's very, very. I think we all know it, but to like put it into how do you say it, into your life and to practice what you preach, it's very, very difficult.
Yes, it is. It is, and I feel that it has also to do like in general with our generation. Like I feel that everyone around me is working their asses off. They're like really. Either doing something for themselves, like really having their own brand or whatever they're trying to do, or having like really good jobs or corporate environments. I feel that everyone around me is like really working hard, and sometimes we really need to remind ourselves and our generation and our circle and everyone that, okay, guys, it's cool to take a break.
Yeah.
I mean, no one is going to die if you take a break. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but it's difficult to do it.
Yeah, I think so too. I think in our generation we've been taught and we've been raised by when you work hard to get results.
Yes.
What we have, I can speak for myself, that I haven't been raised like you have to take care of yourself, which obviously is important. And now my parents, they preach it also, and they also went through difficult times because they didn't take care of themselves. But it's something I think they passed it on to us, and it's very difficult for our generation. It's going to be our thing the next years, I think, to make sure that we develop that self-care much deeper, like healthy food, sport, but just also relax and disconnection.
Yeah, I think there is this guilt around it, like that you feel that you're not doing the best that you can do, which is not true, because how are you going to do it at the end of the day if you are like always drained and always like super tired and exhausted?
Exactly.
But yeah, I feel the same. Like I feel that our generation is really focused.
So we just talked about the moments that you felt like were or are so difficult for you. What are the moments that you feel like you're the most proud of? Because obviously you have this.
That's also every
That's also
day.
self-love. Voilà, that's very good.
But yeah, it's like such a the contrast of like all the feelings is like huge. I mean,
it's a roller coaster.
Yeah, it is a roller coaster. I'm really proud when I take a step back. I need to take a step back and remember that I'm proud for what I do, because there are a lot of things that are happening, collaborations that I'm super proud of, and press that I'm very happy I'm part of, things like that. But I always need to take a step back and remind myself, hey, that's not the norm. Like, you won this. It's not available to everyone. Like, you really worked for it. And sometimes I feel, everyone has been in this magazine. And I try to really, make me feel that it's not special enough. And at the end it is. I mean, I worked for it. And I think one of my proudest moments this past year, like 2017, is for sure that we opened the store with my colleague.
It's super beautiful store. I went there already. It's so nice. As we discussed before, the path that you've chosen is not very easy, I think. After a year, if you look back, is it, or just right now, not just if you look back, but is it something you can live from already? It pays the bills, or do you not yet?
So no, yes, it depends. So the thing is that as a brand and like as a company, it's healthy. But if you want to grow, you really need to invest more. And I'm not patient enough, so I'm investing a lot more. So basically, whatever comes from the brand goes back to the brand, instead of allowing it to take its time and naturally become a big brand or not. I really want to invest, to go to exhibitions, to go to to have like agents overseas. I have a very good agency that I work with in the United States, and things like that they need money to happen. And so I don't put myself as a priority when it comes to making money out of the brand, and I put the brand first so that it actually becomes a bigger one.
Okay, that's nice.
So it's a decision you have to make. I mean, whether or not you want to take it slow and make money out of it, or if you want it to become
grow fast.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's logic. What is a tip or something that you would give to starters, people who are like just launching their brand or thinking of launching their brand, something that you would have wanted to know when you started out?
It's not something I would want when I started, but it's for sure a tip I give because I'm here, and it's that don't wait. Like, for me, I think being a perfectionist is a very good quality in some areas, but in general it can be also like really counterproductive. I think that if you have an idea, try and make it work. take the leap, whatever that means. It doesn't mean that you have to quit your day job and, I don't know, spend all your savings or whatever. But I think that starting, step by step to build your thing, it's the most important thing. Start. Because we all have ideas. I have 100 ideas every day. I don't make a business out of them. I mean, it's one thing to have ideas, it's another thing to actually make a business out of it.
Yeah.
So I think that the $1 million tip would be start. Just start. Otherwise, I remember one of my teachers at the master program, I was very frustrated because a woman copied my work and I didn't know how to deal with it. Should I confront her or not? Should I be offended? Should I be complimented that I'm getting copied or something? And then he told me, the most important thing is to have the idea and actually implement it, because you can have an idea and if you don't implement it in the best way you can do, then someone else will take your idea and make it work. And then you will basically give away an idea to someone else to make it happen.
Yeah.
And I think that's the idea at the end. Just really do.
So if people now want to purchase your jewelry, where can they find it, or where can they find you if they want to?
So physically, they can find me in my store, in Live Aesthetically is the name, and it's on Mechelsesteenweg. And online they can find my work on my online shop, which is my name, anarosamoshuti.com.
Put the link somewhere.
Yes. And where I also, I have a blog section where I put a few of the news, where we do events and, things like that, so they can always be updated. The safest thing is to follow me on Instagram, because I'm constantly like that on Instagram. So I think that even if you text me there, is the shop open or whatever, I'm always on Instagram.
Okay.
And then I have a lot of other collaborators. Like I have stores across Belgium, here in Antwerp as well, a few others in Leuven and Hasselt and Ghent. I have a few. You can find everything on my website. So if you're not in Antwerp and you want to see it live without buying it online, you can go to my list and see where I sell.
Okay.
And then if you're in the United States, first of all, good for you for watching. And secondly, I have my agents there and they are in charge of everything.
Okay, so let's go visit the store for sure for those who are in Antwerp and all those other people. Let's check it out on our website and then we'll find everything there. Thank you so much for being here today. It's been a pleasure talking to you and to hear all your insights and your story. I think it's very interesting. I think you're a very brave woman, and I'm very curious to see what your brand will do in the future.
I'm also curious to see that. Thank you.